Shalom everybody, hope you're doing well, hope your week was great. Getting ready for Shabbat, Parshat Vayechi, the last Parsha of Sefer Bereshit, the last Torah portion of the book of Genesis, the book of creation, the book of beginnings, the book of the beginning, as the Jewish people, as Am Yisrael transitions into their exile in Egypt and the beginning of the process of their redemption. But before we get there, we have this week's Torah portion which talks about the beautiful meeting between Yosef and Yaakov, his father. After many years of not seeing each other, Yaakov comes down to the land of Egypt and sees his son and lives the rest of his years here, lives the rest of his lifetime there in Egypt, leaves the land of Israel, spends 17 years in Egypt, and right before his time has come to an end in this world, he blesses the sons of Yosef. He's going to bless all of his children, but specifically Yosef brings his two sons to his father Yaakov. They give them a blessing before his father Yaakov leaves this world. He brings his sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, and Yaakov asks a very strange question when Yosef brings his sons to him. He asks, Mi ele, who are these? It's a strange question because he's been living there for 17 years and he's seen his grandsons many, many times. So what's the question about? Like, who are these? You know who they are. So there's deeper and different understandings of what he was talking about. One understanding on a more simple level is that the eyesight of Yaakov was starting to wane towards the end of his life, so he didn't know who was standing in front of him. Another explanation has to do with the foresight, the insight, the future vision that Yaakov had upon seeing his two grandsons, and saw that out of these, Mi ele, who are these? Out of these two grandsons would come not very positive things, that in the future, out of Ephraim and Manasseh would come two sins connected to idol worship. The sin of the golden calf in the desert still, and then many more years down the road, the first king of the northern kingdom, Yerovam, who's going to set up golden calves in two new temples that he builds in the northern part of the kingdom of Israel. And so we ask the question, how is it possible that these are your sons, my grandsons, that these negative things are going to come out of them? And Yosef answers his father's question in a very kind of strange way. He basically says, well, my sons, these are the sons that Hashem gave me. But he uses the word Elokim. These are the sons. These were given to me by Elokim. And it seems that on the surface like a strange kind of answer to the question that his father is asking. Who are these? How are you answering the question? But when we look deeper, and with the help of deep vision by the Rav Chaim Cohen, we understand how the answer of Yosef fits very, very well with the question of his father. And he explains and he teaches like this, that Mi ele, what Yaakov is asking, is who are these children that are making separation in the world? That are separating the me and the ele. He goes on to explain that the me and the ele are two words that describe two different parts of a reality. The me, the who, mem yud, me, is describing the source of all things in this world. Mi bara et ele, it appears elsewhere. Who created these? Me is the one who created. Who is the one who created all things in this world? Mi shema ve'bara et olam. The one who spoke and created the entire world. So me connotates the source of everything. That while we might see different and disparate and separate things in this world, there's, as we say many, many times, there's a unity. There's a living unity between all things. And the me is representing the source of all living things, that unity. The ele is that reality of separateness, of things seemingly appearing as separate entities, having nothing to do with one another and having no united source. So the me is the source, the ele are the things that are created that seem on the surface level, according to our eyes, as to be separate. And what Yaakov is saying is that your sons, at least down the road, they're going to lead for there to be in this world separateness. What is idol worship? What is a golden calf? It's taking a physical object and saying, here is the end-all be-all of everything. This is the end of the road, so to speak. It begins here, it ends here. We worship this object. What is idol worship? It's saying that this object has an innate, inherent power and ability. And it is its own source of power. It's not connected to the source, the one source. Mi ele, who are these? Who are these that are going to bring this separateness, this separation into our world? And Yaakov says, no, Abba, Father, know that Elohim gave me these sons. These sons are from Elohim. And when we look at the word Elohim, Chaim Cohen teaches us that the name Elohim is made up of the exact same letters as Mi ele. Right? These two words that form the question that Yaakov is asking. That Elohim gave me these sons. No, there's a unity. Mi ele, bring them together, you form the word Elohim. They are connected to this unity. They are connected to the understanding and to the awareness that everything is connected, that all objects in this world are not an end-all be-all, but in fact connected to that one true source. And Elohim is the name of God that is connected to nature, to Teva. That to look at the world around us and say, okay, I see nature, I see laws and physics and all these different things, but I know still there's a source behind all of it. Mi ele, Elohim, a very deep connection. And this is all coming from Yosef, the one who mastered the physical world, the one who could withstand years of living in Egypt, the most debased country in this world, in the world at that time, the country, the land that was fully given over to the physical world and to the sense and the idea of idol worship. To worship, so to speak, the physical stuff of life. And Yosef is the one who mastered the physical stuff of life, understanding that, again, they're not the end-all be-all. That they are a means to a higher reality, a means to a higher goal, to a higher vision. After spending many years in Egypt and eventually becoming the leader, it's through Yosef that all the mazon, all of the sustenance comes through his hands, so that he can touch it, literally and so to speak, right? That he can touch it as if to transform it, to say, yes, this is physicality, but we're using this physicality with a spiritual goal in mind. And he's the mashbir. He's the one who breaks open the shbor, to break open the physicality and release and to reveal the true essence and the true reality of what's inside, which is the purely spiritual nature connected to the source always and at all times. A lot of powerful things in this week's Torah portion, and the whole portion is called Vayechi, right? Yaakov lives. And Yaakov goes down to Yaakov like his son Yosef, and is able to live even in Mitzrayim, showing his sons and his generation and us, all of the generations up until our generation today, that we can live in this physical world. We are being guided by the Torah to live in this physical world, knowing its risks and its temptations, but being encouraged and taught how to use this physical world, to elevate it to its inherent spiritual nature and its ultimate spiritual goal. And those are the teachings of Yaakov, and those are the teachings of Yosef, and those are the teachings of his sons Ephraim and Manasseh. And that is one of the deepest teachings of the Torah in general, and this Torah portion specifically. That we're human beings meant to be in this world, not to run away from this world, but to be careful of this world. And to try to keep the vision of what this world is really about and what this world could truly be, but not get lost along the way. So please God, we should be blessed not to get lost along the way, and to make this physical world into a holy dwelling for the holiness that is inherently permeating throughout our world at all times. We should have the eyes to see it. Sending much love and blessing from the land of Israel. Shabbat Shalom. L'kulam.